Hello. Welcome to Technobabylon. We just walked in on this murder scene. Or mine jacking. Let's take a look around. You have no idea whether these charts mean the company's doing well or going bust. Amongst all the economics and business speak, the only word you recognize is wetware.
The attack was recent, maybe minutes ago.
The minejacker was probably interrupted by the janitor. Didn't want any witnesses.
He probably didn't mean to send him out the window either.
His ID badge says Gerbach, Avery. He's an HR supervisor.
If the minejacker's in corporate espionage, it's a pretty strange target.
Have Central run his data. See if it can flag anything.
Messing with HR. Terminals are in standby mode, awaiting their users' return in the morning. The phone. The desk phone's projection shows unanswered messages. A plaque identifying ownership of the office. Roy Atwood, HR Operations Manager. This must be who's in charge of this floor.
This keypad must be to stop people getting up on the roof.
It's old-fashioned, but effective. Kind of like you.
Hey.
The terminal is still unlocked, apparently in use at the time of the attack. What was he looking at? Alright, Roy, what you got to say here, buddy? There's a time and place for a trance, and it's not up on the roof. Yes, it's private, but it's also extremely dangerous. Therefore, management's asked me to keep the roof access locked unless it's an emergency. FYI, trance cravings do not count as emergencies. Seriously, Avery, you're great at your job, but you need help. Customer relations to management. The Animus Organics would like to remind colleagues not to make statements to the press regarding product safety and an investigation into recent high-profile exponential wetware growth, or gray goo, accidents is underway, and will be released when complete. Please be aware that tomorrow's midday UV exposure is not expected to peak at 8. Your genetic record indicates a propensity to melanoma. Please take extra care in the long term. The Newton centralized government advises you to restrict outdoor movement to after sunset except for vital. Wow, that's weird. Congratulations. Hey man, just wanted to say big congrats on the engagement. She's a really swell girl, and I know you're going to be happy together. Can't you have to work at the den? So. Okay, well that didn't give us anything. What if we use his key card on the lock?
It hasn't unlocked it. It takes a combination, not a card.
I guess we can use that phone. Okay, let's call somebody. Oh, a bunch of people here. Let's call Dorset.
Hello? Do you know what time it is?
Sorry, wrong number.
I mean, we know Roy's the
I think
boss.
I found the office manager's contact.
See if he'll help us. Remember, be consistent when you're talking to him.
What? Who is this? Do you have any idea what time it is?
Mr. Atwood, my name is Dr. Regis. I'm an investigator for Cell.
What? I mean, what's happened?
I just need to ask a couple questions. There's some trouble at your office.
We're investigating a serious incident in your workplace. I need to ask you a few questions.
Oh, Nuke, what happened?
We need your access code. Could you give us access to the roof?
We need to get up to the roof from your office. We have reason to believe someone we're pursuing has made their way up.
Oh, jeez. Well, I'm the one with the code, but management's ordered me not to let people up there.
Come on,
That's why
man.
we've got the lock in the first place.
None of this will come back on you. I don't think you realize how serious this is. Do you want to enjoy in jail too? Okay, I don't want to be a dick.
This is a serious incident, Mr. Atwood. Time is slipping away, and a serial killer might be as well.
What? Really?
We need your assistance to bring him in. Do you think you'll be able to help us?
Sure. I'll do what I can. You want the roof code? It's 6167.
There we go.
Thanks. Other cell agents may contact you later for more information.
Sure, no problem.
All right, we're going in. Access granted. I think that deserves a save.
Come on, we've almost caught up with him.
The Mindjacker!
Freeze! Cell agents!
That's the guy from the beginning.
Lay down your weapon and put your hands above your head.
That's gonna work, because it always does, right?
Does that ever work?
Sometimes. It was worth a try. Cell doesn't appreciate people shooting at its agents.
If you cut it out, maybe we'll put in a good word for you.
There's no
The
escape.
only way off this rooftop is down, either with us or over the edge.
Frankly, the second one's fine by me.
What?
You got a fucking jetpack? Who's got jetpacks? I mean, it's the future, so I guess everybody rides jetpacks.
What? He had lifting gear?
He's escaping by aerostat.
Central, our mindjacking suspect has fled the scene by air.
Interceptors dispatched. Belcorp officers have arrived on scene at Animus. Please return to headquarters for debriefing.
Nuke, we were so close.
Loud.
Alright.
Max,
What? Huh?
were you sleeping on duty?
Sleep? No, I was trancing. For work, of course.
Dr. Lau was submitting her case report.
We were so close. Have you found the aerostat he escaped to?
No records have been found of such a vehicle.
What?
Radar and air traffic records show no aerostat present at that time, and no communications traffic has been identified regarding the aerostat.
Maybe he deleted them? Covered his tracks?
That would require access to an improbable number of systems, including my own. Such an undetected intrusion into central systems is implausible.
Are you saying we're lying?
It is possible that you were mistaken. Human error. For the
No,
moment,
no.
you are advised to pursue other lines of inquiry.
If you say so. Something's going on here.
Yeah, that ain't right. The screens run through all the available data pertaining to the Mindjacker. You already got the preferences set up how you like it. A number of cables run directly into the building's electrical and data flow systems from Lau's desk. Apparently, her customized wetware gear sometimes requires tremendous resources, and she doesn't care how many of the building's technicians complain about her pulling floors open.
Trying to tidy Lau's desk for her is a battle lost before it's even fought. And that's what she says, like it was something from the art of war.
Okay, we can use the terminal. We can talk to Lau. Let's go ahead and use the terminal. It's important that you download and activate this package and secure the location as soon as possible. Tell no one. Lives have been done. You're unsure who this might be from. An informant, perhaps? Much you just like the cloak and dagger approach they've requested. You'll take any help you can get right now. Hey, Charlie, why are you hogging Lau so much? The rest of us need a wirehead in the case as well. I probably guess why you're not letting her go. Way seriously, man. Seriously, man, give us the rest of us a turn. Okay, everyone likes her. As per discussion, is your attachment there? Let's check up. You still have not opted for the enhanced neuroconnective wetware. While not yet critical, please remember that your work will be critically difficult. Support for non-wetware systems is phased out. Monthly payment of $8,100 for the rental of the Tier 42 Northwest balcony has been processed. Alright, we paid our bills. At least we got a place to live. Applicable feed for your office is no longer functional. Based on past examples of behavior, but it's likely to be your own hand. While you may be object to perceived surveillance, please recall that this is for your safety and that of other cell staff. Alright, we fucked our camera up. Per answer is unclear. No, I will not help you with your investigation. Such crude threats. Who's this from? Gil Vanderwall. If you continue to make my baseless accusations about any sexual ties I may have alleged to have with organized crime, you may be hearing from my lawyers. Dr. Petra Whimsical. I'm afraid it doesn't look good regarding Baxter. Central's approved the payroll. Don't take it personally. It's not like they ignored your input, but well, you're not exactly going to be the most objective person after what he did to your wife, are you? Alright, so we don't like some dude named Baxter. This is a case file, I guess. Victims of date 18. Jesus. Hey, is that our wife? Oh, there's something to say there. Reskin Charlie. Okay.
Hey, Lau.
Yeah?
Got any ideas where we can look next?
I thought you were supposed to be the lead on this case. We could look into that other lead. What was his name?
Gil Vanderwall?
Yeah, that's the one.
I thought Vanderwall made it pretty clear he wasn't going to speak to us.
He
Might
did.
just be the way you handled him. Tact is apparently not your strong point.
No,
I like
not
to
very
speak
much.
my mind.
I'll
Good
contact him and see if he's more open to persuasion. He might cooperate if you're not there threatening him with physical injury.
He's a dyed-in-the-wool felon. He deserves worse.
But if he can help us...
All right. See what you can do.
Alright,
Looks like we found our latest casualty.
Damn it. Why him, though?
I was wondering the same thing. We're assuming the mindjacker's a data thief. The usual MO would be to target valuable info he can sell on the black market.
But this guy, he was an HR administrator.
Apparently a very good one, but not the kind who'd be let in on company secrets.
We'll just have to ask the mindjacker when we catch him. Let me know if you find anything.
Will do, Regis.
I trust Max, but I know Central would hear everything in cell headquarters.
So do we just leave?
One of Central's fisheye cameras, someone has covered it in tape.
The door leads to the surgical lab. It seems to be currently occupied. You don't mind Santiago, but you're too keen on Preston. Everything he says or does seems to be a slavishly obedient attempt to stay in line with Central. Not even Central cares that much. Though you can tolerate Dr. Santiago's opinions, it seems like Preston's the only one in the office who'd rather avoid another sermon of the merits of centralized government.
One of Central's fisheye cameras.
At the end of this hall leads into the waiting room, where persons of interest who don't quite deserve the cells are temporarily kept here. Okay, what do we got in here? Who's you?
They picked this guy up last night. He's got something in his wiring that might be contagious. I guess that means I'm safe, but still, poor kid. They picked this guy up, I guess that... Hey kid, you alright?
Alright, absolutely nothing to do in here. Okay. Some kid spazzing out. I guess we just leave. I guess we'll go to our balcony. I'm assuming it's our balcony.
When people worry, there's always something they find to help them. Drinking, the trance, even God sometimes. Me, I've got a place I like to go to. It's helped me when I've been troubled in the past. It took a lot of work to make, but it was worth it. This engineered tree is the kind of memorial I think she'd appreciate.
The tree's unusual constitution causes it to shed its leaves more often than a natural specimen. You do diligently tend to the mess as it makes often as the work allows. You're not in the mood for gardening. Not even having a glance for a moment, those words are etched in memory deeper than anything else. Nishka Regis, beloved wife, friend to all that lives. 2034, 2067. Think of us not as engineers, but as artists.
I'm not climbing that. It's sickly enough as it is.
It's in the locker.
It's empty.
Okay. Alright, well, I guess this is a secure place, so let's listen to that message then.
Here goes nothing.
Dr. Regis.
Yes?
Regis? Central's still giving us a negative on the aerostat. It's like it just vanished. So
Okay.
I thought I'd better give you a heads up.
Do you mind? I was in the middle of something. How did you find me?
Central told me you'd be here, at Fulcrum Tower. Also, it said, stop turning your traveler off.
What a surprise. I like my privacy,
Mhm.
though. That's why I come here.
Do
Here
you
we
hang
have
around the
it.
balconies much?
It's a
Take a
memorial.
look at the plaque.
Viksha Regis, beloved... Oh. Regis, this is...
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Charlie, I didn't know.
You wouldn't have. I don't tell anyone about it.
Wow. I know you've got some seriously high-up strings you can pull, but I didn't think they'd ever let someone be buried up here. And how the hell can you afford somewhere like this?
We were married for 4 years.
I'm sorry it couldn't last.
We met in our professions. She was a engineer as well.
You didn't have kids?
My previous work, well, it left both of us infertile. We had embryos prepared through IVF, but we never got to using them.
I'm really sorry. I remember reading... It was Baxter, wasn't it?
Don't push it, Dr. Lau.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
She isn't buried up here. She was processed, like anyone else.
I see.
The tree's special, though. I made it myself, from scratch.
Planted and grew?
No, made. It's a cross of Chrysophyllum caneto and Prunus cerulata. The junk DNA in every cell of it contains her entire genome.
Wow.
Takes a lot of looking after.
But you're doing it for her.
Makes it all worth it.
It was worth
You're
the
right,
cost.
though. This place is very expensive. Why do you think I live in a pod in the southeast barrel?
I didn't know that was where you lived either. I think I figured out why you went off the grid to come up here tonight. You heard about Baxter, didn't you?
They let a monster like that walk.
They didn't parole him because they approve of what he did. He's out because he's got skills Central thought would be useful. With a governor jammed in his limbic system, well, he won't be the same man. He can't even imagine hurting anyone again.
Even if it were completely true, I know that there is absolutely no way I could forgive him.
On the bright side, he'd probably be pretty mad at you too.
You know that can't
well,
be right.
If he could have thoughts like that anymore without falling over and puking, you put him away, and that counts for something. I know it's not exactly normal for you to open up, but if you want someone to talk to,
Central wants us?
I'm afraid so. We better get going. You coming?
Just give me a minute.
I just need a moment to think, Max. A little privacy. It's why I came up here in the first place.
I understand, Charlie. I'll be in the car. I'll see how long I can stall Central.
Max,
Yes?
nothing.
That's all right, Charlie. I understand. I'll be in the car.
I want to listen to this message.
I can't ask for her help in this. I'm not even sure what this is yet.
Alright, try this
You
again.
are alone, as requested.
Yes? Now what is this about?
1448D-A, 1448D-B, 1448D-C, 1448D-E.
Excuse me?
Their stomach lurches as you recognize the image. You know them. You've seen them before, but you haven't remembered them by number. Whoever's calling you has 4 embryo containers. Your own.
What about them?
They were removed from the Alrasis Medical Center, originally deposited at 1615 on the 11th of November 2065. They have been fertilized by yourself and Dr. Viksha Regis. They were frozen at the earliest viable phase of growth. 3 are female and 1 is male. They were deposited after your fertility treatment proved...
Stop! Why are you telling me this? Who are you? And what are you doing with my my embryos?
You are about to meet with a contact, Gil Vanderwall. In his home is an active memory module, a most unique model. You will secure it for us. Further instructions will follow.
Let's do
Fine.
it.
I'll get you that memory module.
A wise decision, Dr. Regis. I know full well just how much you're prepared to do for these embryos.
I bet he would have smashed one if we would have said, asked a question. Conflict brews in your mind and in your heart. Giving in to blackmail like this would be the antithesis of everything you stand for, both as an agent of the law and as a human being. On the other hand, you can't bring yourself to risk a small part of the legacy you've worked so many years
To save the
maintain.
lives of our children? I think I can accept that.
So, despite the incident at Animus, I may have some good news. We might have a break in that string of mindjackings.
Vanderwall agreed to talk.
Yeah. How'd you guess?
He couldn't hold out forever. What did he say?
Didn't want to talk over the...
Lau?
Central wants a word.
Dr. Regis, Dr. Lau.
This isn't just a social call for an update, is it, Central?
Dr. Regis, lately you have spent a great deal of your time off network. It is for your safety and that of the citizens that we...
Central?
All points bulletin, evacuation in progress at Barber's Gate Transit Station. Case officers Regis and Lau assigned to crisis management.
What's happening at the...
All case data has been transferred to Dr. Lau. Your vehicle has been rerouted. Please seek an expedient resolution to the situation. Central out.
Business-like as ever. Let's go see what this is about.
Okay.
I always make sure this is...
They're all the...
No, they're not. It sure looks like everyone evacuated in a hurry. Nah, that's a job for the corpsman.
That's kind of a dick move.
Advertising. It's all the same crap wherever you are.
It looks a lot more impressive if you're wired, though.
Even the drones are helping evacuate commuters from the station.
Advertising.
It looks a lot...
He doesn't look like he's coping well with this.
Hey, don't be so mean about the corpsmen. They're what keeps Cell running.
I'd be a lot more impressed if they didn't have Central pulling their strings the whole time.
Sir, over here.
What you got, corpsman?
I'm Dr. Regis. This is Dr. Lau. We've been assigned as crisis management.
Corpsman Durian, 4th Network.
Has it gotten any worse?
Not yet, but we've not heard any word since...
Hey, I'm the only one here who hasn't got wiring in his head. Central hasn't had the decency to update me.
Oh, sorry, Charlie.
Well, it's another one, sir.
Another what?
Another one.
A, bomber.
Another one?
What do you mean, another one?
This is like the 4th this year I know of. Central's been doing its best to keep public awareness down.
I guess it doesn't want public panic about it.
Or it doesn't want people to think we haven't got it under control. So how do you know about it?
I talk to people? I've got a social life, unlike someone.
Central marked him when he tripped a chroma sensor. Central locked down the trains and started an evacuation. It looks like he panicked and holed up in one of them.
Anyone in danger? Any hostages?
Central's not mentioned any in the case file. That either means there aren't any.
Or it doesn't consider them sufficiently important. Probably wants the transit running again more than it cares about human life.
Sounds like he was surprised. Didn't have time to take any.
He's not thinking in terms of hostages. He was made as a weapon.
Regis?
He's a biobomber. The explosives are made of... They are his bones. That's how he tripped a DNA sensor.
What do you
What's
think,
your
Max?
take on it, Dr. Lau?
Honestly, it's looking pretty lousy for him. Doesn't look like he's got any human shields. I doubt an empty transit station was his intended target either.
Very astute.
Charlie, you're not gonna like this. Central's just bumped the priority. It wants the suspect neutralized.
What?
I'm gonna try and talk him down.
Neutralized is a vague term. I'm gonna try to talk him down.
Regis?
It sounds like he's hesitating. I may be able to exploit that, but just in case, get to high ground.
Fine. You probably know what you're doing.
I
The
don't.
signal is hope. Don't fire until you hear me say it.
Hope. Got it.
Keep the public away, and run one more check for bystanders in the station. We can't afford casualties if this goes wrong.
Will Central approve of this?
We don't have time to wait and find out. Wish me luck.
Damn, we're just going right in. Okay.
Hello?
Who's there?
I just want to talk. I'm unarmed, and I'm opening the doors.
Am I unarmed?
What do you want, heathen?
The sight is distressingly familiar. The braces, the weakened bones, the signs of tampering on a young man that brings back memories long buried. It seems that the best hope would be to leverage what you know about him, try to find some common ground. You sound American. I'm here to resolve this.
You sound like you're from America. Am I right? Texas, I'd guess.
Yes, you're right.
I thought so. I grew up there myself, near Fort Worth. What part do you hail from?
Houston.
I can remember what it's like out there. It's part of why I came here in the first place. I'm Dr. Regis, by the way. Some folk call me Charlie.
Thomas Beckett.
Like the saint. Nice to meet you all, Thomas.
What happened here?
So, how do you like the city?
It's a wretched den of sin, like Sodom or Gomorrah.
Well, it's
Yeah.
not my favorite, but I wouldn't go that far. I take it you're not here as a tourist.
I'm here to do my duty and strike a blow for the Lord.
Really? We're a long way out from the war here. Whole other continent, in fact.
Yes, I know. But now I'm surrounded, and I must make use of what I have. The fire within me.
How's the scoliosis? You need medical help?
How's the scoliosis?
What?
And the osteoporosis, the rickets, and the diabetes?
How do you...
It's a common side effect of sloppy prenatal genetic engineering. That and having your body lay explosive nitrates in your bones instead of calcium.
It's a test of our faith. Only the truly worthy who can...
It shows just how little the engineers who made you cared about your health. They made you to walk and to carry a bomb in your bones. The fact that you're a living, feeling, thinking human was merely an inconvenience.
I think we got this dude. I don't think we need it.
Regis, I'm in position. Visibility good, 0 crosswind. Standing by.
There have been times when I've lost faith, but I can't let this be one of them.
I've had experience with you guys. You're trying to work out your next move. Don't do anything stupid.
I used to work with guys like you, a whole lifetime ago.
The Lord's warriors?
Something like that. Kids who'd been altered, weaponized youth. You've grown up with so many health problems, groomed since birth for a noble sacrifice. But does this seem like the glorious role you were promised?
It is my duty to God to sacrifice myself.
In an empty transit station, thanks to a piece of bad luck?
This wasn't where I was supposed to go. But even the original target, it doesn't seem to fit with God's plan. But if I agreed to go with you, I'd have failed in my duty. I'd just be a prisoner in a strange land.
For the Lord hears the needy and does not despise his own people who are prisoners. Psalm 69, verse 33.
You're right. Wherever I am, I'm always in the Lord's sight.
There are more
Got him.
ways to do his work than destruction. We can help you find it. We can probably even fix your bones.
All right. I shall not resist.
Thomas, you've made a wise choice. More importantly, you've made it for yourself. Corpseman, the suspect has surrendered. Take him into custody. Carefully.
Yes, Doctor.
Got him. That's how we do things.
Regis,
Oh,
that
Charlie.
was amazing. Central's going to be pissed, though. That was a huge risk.
Screw Central. Come on, we've got work to do. The corpseman can handle it here.
Yeah, with a little help from the bomb squad.
Alright, at least we get to drive. And this steering wheel's on the other. Chapter 11, Fission. Elysium Tower, penthouse suites. T-minus 17 hours.
So, Vanderwall finally agreed to cooperate?
Yep, said he could give us a head start on the minejacker.
We'd better not keep the man waiting then.
Yeah, so we do have a gun. Janitorial drone patrols the hallways, executing its adaptive planning software to track down dirt.
Nah, my apartment building's already got one.
The dock on the wall, where the autonomous vacuum cleaner gets its power and offloads its waste, there's noise above it. The management thanks you for allowing the sanitation machinery instead to continue their work by not obstructing the docks. These stations for the use of custodial equipment only.
What do you make of this, Max?
My parents' old bot used to spend much more time in the Charger than doing its job. I kept telling them to get a new one, but they never like to spend until they have to.
What do you make of this, Max?
My parents, I kept telling...
In this part of town, even the buildings look lazy and decadent.
I don't get the appeal of this cubist stuff.
Looks more like abstract impressionism to me. A classic piece by Chandler, if I'm not mistaken.
You know, that's a lot less impressive when you can call up a search inside your head.
What do we got here?
You've never struck me as much of an art lover.
I'm not so keen on this kind of thing. The mag coil keeping it floating, however.
Okay.
An adjustable magnetic coil, previously used to keep a piece of art floating in the air.
Is this where we're going? While the door has an expensive hardwood appearance, no doubt that the man as paranoid as Gil Vanderwall has spared no cost to ensure that it's at least bomb-proof. Alright, let's save it.
Vanderwall, you there? You sure he's in?
He told us to meet him here. Central hasn't logged any departures from this floor since this morning either.
We haven't got time for this, Gil.
I don't think he's answering.
Cell agents, open the door.
We're going to have to try something else.
One more time.
Cell agents, open the door.
We're going to have to try...
Oh, we got the mag coil.
It doesn't need magnetizing. It doesn't need magnetizing.
Please do not interrupt active drones.
No longer floating art. I like that. Fish on camera, probably so that the Vanderwalls can decide whether or not they want to let somebody in.
Hey, open up. It's Regis. Nope, that's not going to work.
Whoa, check out Regis taking the Elliot Ness approach.
We don't have time to hang around outside. I'm just being expedient, as Central puts it.
Hey, I got an
Whatever.
achievement for
Vanderwall's
it.
not going to be happy about you busting his door.
Whatever, we're in. Holy shit.
Gil, you in here? Oh, excuse us, miss. I'm Dr. Regis. This is Dr. Lau. We're cell agents. Miss, are you all right?
Why is she covered in blood?
Regis, this is a synth. The look on your face is priceless. It's a very expensive one, but it's still a synth. And apparently out of charge.
Something else about it bothers me more.
I know. I sure hope that isn't blood. That's a very expensive synth they've got for a house girl.
Jealous?
She's not my type. What do you think they use her for?
They may be
Hey.
married, but I wouldn't put it past them using her for other things than cleaning. There's a product marker on its back. S&S Synthetics.
Here we
They're
go.
not
Okay.
showing up on a net search. Maybe Vanderwall has more info on his terminal?
Good idea. We can see if we can get their help in extracting more from this machine.
See? I'm not just a pretty face.
Hello?
I think I know what's wrong with it.
Yeah, you think? Little food machine?
Hi, I'm Chevy. What can I get for you?
That's
Never
enough.
mind.
Bye!
Is this refrigerator locked? Who the hell locks a refrigerator?
That's a good
Maybe
fucking
they've
point.
got really expensive tastes?
Large refrigerator has a combination lock built into the door.
Is this Who the hell?
Maybe they've got real.
Drinks machine, terminal. Let's check upstairs first before we dig into a computer.
Jesus Christ.
What the hell happened in here? Did someone get to Vanderwall before he could talk?
Maybe it's a domestic gone bad?
The blackmailer said nothing about this. Perhaps they didn't even expect this themselves. Still, you need to find out what they demanded before the whole apartment is picked apart by forensics drones.
We should check around first.
What?
We need to get a look at it ourselves before the crime scene people wreck it.
Okay.
Good idea.
Really?
Well, yes.
Who are you and what have you done with Charlie Regis?
What do you mean?
You're unusually cavalier today. You got something on your mind? I mean,
Hey,
I know
no,
you
I'm
don't
just
usually
rolling with
care
it.
what Central thinks about regulations, but...
No, fuck it. It would help
This time,
us.
I think it could help us get a lead on our investigation. Besides, all the time we waste, the mindjacker may have found their next victim.
I like this, Regis. Let's get investigating.
Yeah. You feel glad that Max suggested it and not you. Now you have the free reign and you need to find that device. The voice wanted. Alright, let's save it right here. Let's wrap it up, guys. Drop a like if you haven't already. Drop us up if you're new.